What's up guys, Will from Will's Car Care here. Today, I got something I've been waiting for a whole year to do this video on, and that's the DIY Detail 8-3 stack. So this ceramic coating, I installed it on my own personal vehicle about a year ago, a little more than that, and honestly very impressed with the performance, but I purposely made it very hard for the ceramic coating because for any maintenance, I did not do any toppers. My car parks outside 24/7. It sits through the very hot sunny days and also the coldest of the coldest winters in upstate New York. So the coating is exposed to that extreme heat and also extreme cold, and all while being outside with no protection. And I did not add any topper to this coating for an entire year. So I'm very excited to see this 8-3 stack coating is going to last and how well it's going to be performing after a whole year of that kind of abuse. But I will say, despite all of that, I did wash my car often, even though I didn't use any toppers. I just clean it. And I think that's going to be what makes the most difference, is just keeping it clean and not let contaminants sit on your car for too long, or other environmental chemicals like salt or bird droppings or bugs. So with that minimal maintenance, I'm very excited to see how the coating is going to last. So be ready to see me spray water in my car for a couple minutes straight. Alright guys, so the car is dirty. I washed it about 2-3 weeks ago, and I parked under a tree, so there's a bunch of dust and pollen or whatever on the panel. So I'm gonna rinse and let you guys see what it looks like before I wash it. So here we go. Looks pretty flat. I mean, at this point, it kind of looks like the coating is dead, but we'll have to wash it to really know what's underneath. So here's the vertical panel. Again, the car is dirty. Got giant bird poop right here. In North Carolina, there's a lot more trees, so I'm not really happy about parking under trees, but let's see how the water behavior is. It was flat initially, but after some of the grit gets rinsed off, never mind, it is still a little flat. And here's what the bumper looks like. So very interesting. It being not a flat panel, it has a lot less dirt on it. So water behavior is a lot more hydrophobic here. And lastly, let's see what the back looks like. Pretty impressive. And the glass is now coated with the 3 stack, so just look at the paint. That's pretty good. But let's give this a quick wash and we'll see really what the coating is like. So let's get to that. So as usual, we're gonna do the regular foam rinse foam with Rinseless. So let's get this pre-treated. I'm gonna rinse this off, and then we're gonna go into contact washing. So what's interesting is now after the Rinseless pre-treat, I haven't even touched the panel. The paint is actually acting more hydrophobic. So that just shows how much Rinseless is cleaning it off even without any contact washing.
Oh wow, even the vertical panels, it seems a lot better after the rinseless pre-treat. So as you can see, it's a lot more hydrophobic than before. Yeah, it definitely feels like there was a lot of stuff on the paint. And now look at this. The paint is repelling a lot better now. But what I'm going to do is not only just wash the car, I'm also gonna do a iron decon. Because like I said before, this car in the whole year has not had any claying or any iron decon or just any decontamination. So this car is definitely due for a good decon. So I think that'll give us a real idea of how this coating is really performing. Okay. All right, so this is all washed. I'm gonna do a quick water behavior. So definitely wouldn't say day one. It's definitely something's impeding the hydrophobics, or maybe it's just degraded after a whole year. So right now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do an iron decon. And how we're gonna do that is with a synthetic clay towel like this. And this has been soaking rinseless. What we're gonna do is just fold it. We'll be using lubricant with it, which is an iron remover. And not all iron removers are lubricants. Only a certain ones, I'll link them in the description. And as far as I know, only DIY Detail and Detail Co. are doing this kind of iron removers. So all I'm gonna do is give it a spray on the panel and one spray on the towel, like that. And then you should feel lots of lubrication because these iron removers are not the same as the normal ones we've used before. I can definitely feel some contamination. And a lot of people think that if you do this on ceramic coatings, oh, you're gonna mar the car and you're gonna degrade the ceramic coating. Well, just wait and see. Because I'm telling you, this is not the traditional kind of clay bar. This isn't the same as a clay bar. And the iron remover is not the same as traditional iron removers. It packs strangely amount of lubrication, so you can do this without marring the paint or leave any scratches. So if you don't believe it, I really encourage you to try it. So now the iron decon is done, I'm gonna rinse this off. And let's see if there's any changes. Honestly, quite a bit. And I can see it's still sheeting a little bit on the corners. But it's definitely doing pretty well. And again, I'm using a hose with a fan spray attachment, so it does shoot a lot more water than a pressure washer. So this is gonna be flooded a lot more. So now let's look at the vertical panels. Again, these at the lower portions, they do get hit a lot with salt and in the snow seasons in upstate New York. So I want to see how they have lasted. Before we do the decon, that's honestly pretty good. Let's give it a quick decon and see. Do you see a difference? I feel like this is better. Oh yeah, definitely. It's definitely better than before. So those of you who think that using a clay towel and iron remover would damage ceramic coating, here's proof. it actually makes it better. So here's after decontamination, the vertical panels. I would say the performance is definitely pretty impressive on the vertical panels here. I don't see any degradation. And again, this is with no protection at all for a whole year. The only part I might see it slowing down is these parts that protrudes out, these parts that have more of a horizontal surface. I think that collects a little bit more contamination maybe and gets exposed to more abrasion. And up here as well. Here it's slowing down, but maybe something happened when they were installing the vinyl here, because I did get that done recently. But here it's all good. And here, let's take a look at the back. This is the part that gets the dirtiest of the entire part of the car. So let's see. Yeah, I definitely say not 100%. I can see some slowing down right here. And a bumper right here, where when I'm loading things, my leg might be rubbing against the bumper. Abrasion is the #1 enemy of ceramic coatings. And out of curiosity, I took off the license plate here because I did coat underneath the license plate. So this portion of the coating should be completely unexposed to the elements. So I'm curious to see what the coating looked like versus now. So it's not a huge difference, but the difference is definitely not there. At least when I run the water over like that, you can't really see a distinct square or rectangle. Let's try the other head. So it definitely sheets a lot faster here. So I think around the license plate is definitely where the coating is performing the best. You can see the difference between how fast it sheets up here and here. So after a whole year with no toppers, no decons, and just regular wash and out being in the sun 24/7, the coating is doing quite well, I would say. Even though there are some degradation, like most notable on the hood. It is still quite hydrophobic, and you can clearly see that the coating is there. It's far from dead. And for someone who doesn't think that there's specific maintenance just for ceramic coatings, I would recommend using a sealant every other wash or every 2 washes, regardless if you have ceramic coatings or not. But if you have ceramic coatings, it will definitely help your ceramic coatings because it just acts as another sacrificial layer on top of your ceramic coating. So it's kind of like a protection for your protection, if you will. But anyway, if you want your ceramic coating to last long, using it once every other wash, just like this, after your car is washed, you just spray on the surface. So you just spray on the panel, 1 or 2 sprays, and just dry with it. It will also act as a drying aid and make your drying a little safer. Like right now I can feel a lot more slickness. And since the hood is a bigger panel, another 2 sprays here, and just spread the product like this. It does not need too much. Just enough where you can feel the slickness under your towel. And make sure after this, you want to wash your towel as soon as possible because ceramic sealants will definitely clog up your nice microfibers. Now usually you give it an hour or two to at least cure, but I'm just gonna spray water on right now just to see immediately after application what it looks like. So take a look at that. That looks like day one on my ceramic coating. All right, maybe not that exaggerated, but it looks a lot better. So I purposely did not do this for a whole year because I wanted to see what the ceramic coating will be like if I don't do this. And if I do as little as possible and purposely not really maintain the car, how the ceramic coating will be like for a car that parks outside 24/7 again, and in the harsh winter in upstate New York. So from what I've seen, I think the coating is definitely very durable, especially on the vertical panels. Getting hit by all the salt and mud and everything, it's still lasting very well. So if you do properly maintain your ceramic coating, the results would be even better than this. So take a look at the water behavior. Very impressive.
So as you can see, the coating after a whole year, I think it's lasting pretty well. Keep in mind, this car sits 24/7 outside in the elements. All the sunlight, all the snow, all the salt gets on this car. And I did not do any toppers or any ceramic sealant on this car for a whole year. So it's literally put through a very harsh environment, and I'm kind of stress testing this ceramic coating. So some degradation was expected. On vertical panels though, I couldn't see any degradation, which is what really surprised me the most. On the hood, yeah, there is some, and it's definitely not day one. Even though it is still beating water, it is not dead, and the difference that you can see when it is unwashed versus when it's washed, the water looks completely flat and dead when it's unwashed. But after a quick wash in the clay towel with the iron remover, by the way, that does not damage your ceramic coating. You can see how well the ceramic coating is performing compared to before. So I would love to know what you guys' thoughts are and whether you have installed the A3 stack before or just the 8-year or the 3-year. Now honestly, between these two coatings, I'd probably say that the 8-year coating alone will probably get you 80–90% there with the performance, because this is just amazing coating with the 8-year. So if you're thinking of getting a DIY detail coating, I highly recommend the 8-year. It is the best selling coating for a reason. Now, they did come out with the Type 2 coatings. These are Type 1, they're originals. The new ones, I'll be testing them very soon, and I will show you guys the difference between these older ones and the newer ones, and what kind of differences there are. Maybe there's not much, and hopefully I can do a long-term review on those as well. So thank you guys so much for watching, stay tuned, and I'll see you guys in the next video.